Hello, it's Morgan Wood. Yes, I wear glasses, get over it. Today I'm going to be doing something quite different. I'm going to show you how I do drag king makeup. So usually I perform as a drag queen, but I can also be a drag king if I want to, because drag is for everyone. So I'm going to show you how I achieve a masculine drag look with makeup. So I'm going to go prepare my face and put in contact lenses, and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, I'm back. I've primed and I've cleaned my eyebrows. So normally for drag queen makeup, I would block my entire eyebrow, but for this makeup, I'm just going to block part of it. Taking the glue stick, just working it into the hairs to about halfway. I'm just smoothing it to the side with the glue stick. I'm not actually going to use the brush at all. So while that's drying, let me go through a couple of the things I'm going to do differently than my drag queen makeup. So I'm not going to shave. I have stubble today, and I'm going to leave it. If you don't have stubble, that's fine. This makeup does not depend on it, but I'm just going to leave it there and use it to enhance the masculinity of this drag. And yes, in case you're wondering, I am a cis man, and I can also do drag king. Why not? Drag is for everyone. Drag really, at its essence, is gender as a performance. At least that's my opinion. And I'm not an especially masculine man out of drag, so to become a drag king is also a transformation in the same way that becoming a drag queen is a transformation for me. What kind of drag you do or is available to you does not have to be determined by your gender identity or gender expression. Now I've added a couple of extra layers of glue to the ends of my eyebrows. I'm going to block them with powder. Just pressing that on. Okay, and then brush off the excess. So this gives me the nub of my eyebrow to use as a base to create a new shape later on. So now I'm going to go in with my base color foundation. I'm actually going to use a liquid foundation. You could absolutely use a TV paint stick. I just find it a bit easier to blend when I have stubble if I'm using a liquid. Squirting it onto my brush. Start with the eyebrows and just layer it on. I'm not worrying too much about blending it with the hairline because I'm going to draw a new hairline actually. Not forgetting the ears. And then just tapping the brush around to make sure there are no marks. Alright, now I'm going to take my highlight TV paint stick and I'm going to highlight the areas that I want to stand out. Now this is going to be very different than drag queen makeup, because with drag queen makeup I'm trying to make my face look smaller and more feminine. But now with the drag king makeup I'm trying to accentuate the masculine features of my face to make it broader and longer. So we're going to start with the forehead, create a kind of U shape in the middle and bring it down the nose, then under the eye, down to the corner of the mouth and the top of my jaw. Blend that all out. And I've gone a little bit too far here on the forehead, so I'm just going to use my neutral color foundation brush to redefine what I wanted the shape to be. Now using my TV paint stick contour shade, I'm going to accentuate these masculine contours. So I'm going to square off the forehead because that's a more masculine feature to have a squared forehead. So I actually have a line here, maybe you can see it. It's the natural shape of my skull. And I'm just going to accentuate that by bringing the contour shade down it. So that's going to the corner of where my real eyebrow was. Then I'm just going to take that out to my hairline. And now for the cheeks. So with drag queen makeup, I tend to get the cheekbone looking pretty high. In this case, I want it to look lower, and I'm going to connect it to the bottom of my jaw. So I'm actually going to start by joining this line, sucking in my cheeks, and bringing it to the point where my cheeks come in the most. And then I'm also going to draw a line across here to accentuate my chin. Now to do the nose, I'm going to use the same foundation cream and using a little skinny brush. This is the same technique I use for contouring my nose when I do drag queen makeup, but this time I'm going to make the shape quite different. So instead of snatching the nose into a very thin point at the end, I'm going to exaggerate the curves and the roundness of the end of my nose. Then I'm going to take another damp sponge to blend all of this out. So here with the temples, I'm blending this way towards the hairline because I want to create the illusion of this part going further back in space to make the forehead squarer. Okay, now to set everything with powder. Alright, so now it's time to do the eyebrows and eyes. So I'm just gonna put some loose powder under my eyes to catch any fallout. And I'm also gonna bake in the spots that we previously highlighted. So for the eyebrows, I'm just gonna take my skinny brush again and my neutral brown, and I'm going to redefine the shape of the eyebrow that I want. So I'll start by drawing underneath my real eyebrow and just carry that line on up and out a little bit to connect with that contour. And I'm filling in the front of the eyebrow with the same powder. The point here isn't to make an especially high arch of a shape, it's just to give a bit more space in the eye so I can do more eye makeup. And because I'm going for a kind of stylistic masculine look rather than a very natural one. And because now the outer part of my brow is lighter than the inner part, I'm going to take a slightly darker brown and just intensify these outer edges. And then using that brush, I'm just going to push my natural hairs up a bit just to give this kind of bushy effect at the front of the eyebrow. Then for eyeshadow, I'm going to use this kind of sparkly grey colour because while I want the look to be masculine, I also want it to be campy. So on a fluffy brush, I'm just going to cover the crease, my natural crease this time. And I'll bring quite a lot of it into the inner corner of the eye. And here I'm going to actually connect it with the bottom of my eyebrow, which will also help intensify that nose contour. And now I'm buffing it out towards the outer edge. Then I'm actually going to take just a little bit of white on the same brush, just here under the brow. Just blend it in with the grey. Then with a stubbier brush, I'm going to take some dark blue and I'm going to blend that into the outer corner of the eye, up the crease. Unlike when I do drag queen makeup, I'm not creating a higher crease, I'm just using my natural crease, which is pretty low. For a masculine look, I want the eyes to appear kind of smaller and more down-facing rather than snatched up. And here I'm going to bring it under the eye also. Then I'm going to brush away this bake. And taking a bit more of that sparkly grey, I'm going to enhance under the eye, actually following like the natural line of my under eye bag and connecting it with the blue. I'm going to line those waterlines because I still want the eyes to pop. I'm just not trying to create an illusion that they're much bigger than they are. Then just a bit of mascara, just so those lashes are not powdery. Now I'm going to redefine these contours. So I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the eyeshadow, just cleaned it off, and my neutral brown, and just go down the nose, adding a bit more definition to this shape that I've created, which I'm not trying to make even necessarily. If it's a bit wonky, that's fine. My nose is naturally wonky. Same up here with this forehead. Blend it into the eyebrow, this cheek, down to the jaw, across the chin. I'm actually just going to connect these two lines under the chin. And I think there's something a bit missing from the forehead, so I'm actually going to enhance the shape by just intensifying this area and making it darker. Just drawing a kind of U in the middle. And then with my shorter, stubbier brush, which still has a bit of blue on it, I'm going to use that contour brown, wrinkle my forehead, and I'm just going to follow a couple of these wrinkle lines across. Not all of them. Just to add some more definition to my forehead. And actually aiming for an uneven shape makes it look more interesting, I think. The 11 marks on above the eyebrow. Okay, and just a bit of highlight on the nose, I think. The cheek and the chin. And just to add a bit of colour back into the face, I'm going to use these two reddish colours on the cheeks. Just going over that contour a little bit. Bring it up to the temple a bit. And I feel like adding just a touch of glitter on the inner corner of my eye for for an extra bit of camp. And so for the lips, I'm just gonna very lightly outline them, not overdrawing, just using my natural lip shape with this pretty neutral color. And then I'm just gonna use this color just on my finger. Smear it on my lips. That's a bit too pink, so I'm gonna take this color that's closer to my skin tone and just go over it. I don't want the lips to stand out, but I don't want them to be powdery either. I think now I'm actually going to draw on a moustache, so using my same brown contour powder on my angled brush, the same way that I did my eyebrows basically. First just outlining the shape, so I'm really just underlining my nose. And then use my finger to fill it in. And again, same as with the eyebrows, I'm just using a slightly darker color to darken the outer corners. And then just to darken it a little bit more, I'm using some mascara on my stubble. If you don't have stubble, just using a small brush and a bit of darker color will give this similar effect. And I could do this all over the rest of my bearded stubble area, but I think this is fine. So I'm just going to spray with some setting spray. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to do is redefine this hairline. So I'm going to use my flat brush that I just used for my eyebrows and my moustache and outline it. Blend that in with my real hair. And if you have a differently shaped hairline, this is a good way to give that kind of squared off effect. Okay, and there we have it, a masculine drag look. As you can see, this requires almost just as much makeup as a drag queen look. Maybe it takes a little less time because there are fewer steps to accomplish. I'm also not wearing false lashes, which you definitely could as a drag king. I mean, you can mix whichever aspects you like of drag makeup and put them together. There are no rules. I just wanted to show you how I achieve a more masculine drag makeup look. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, share it. Please subscribe also so you don't miss upcoming videos in the future. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Morgan Wood Callisto, MorganWoodCallisto. See you soon.